Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Mole promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
I'm going to say it right now. What the fuck is going on with this fucking stream? I mean, seriously, I can watch. I'm sitting
you and I
there
are both on there. So, I figured we fake like a little banter during the delay just to have some fun with it, but I don't know.
I honestly just don't. I
know someone on Facebook's like, "There's no sound." We know. We don't know how to fix it.
We're trying to fix it, man. For God's sake. And anyway, we don't know who you are. Facebook user.
It's posted so many different places on Facebook, like Chris's adultery. It's always the ugly ones.
Did you hear that? That's terrible, by the way, saying that about that.
You just now realize
you have just got the wrath. You have just got the wrath. Oh my God! Right. Honestly, just have to you want to him. Honestly, I don't care. You did realize she will come.
Eric Thompson and Anne-Marie Young. Yeah, we know. For some reason, when we pop on these shows, when it's both of us on
that's
here,
the weird thing.
For some reason, the intro always has a weird delay. We don't know what we're doing to cause it. And the customer service for Streamlabs has been kind of a dick when we try to ask. Cocaine aliens, that's why they travel so fast.
What's that? Cocaine aliens, that's why they travel. No, but here's an interesting thing, right?
Dots.
Why is it when I do my shows, I don't have this problem, right? But when I invite you on as a guest on my show on a Friday night, because we did remember with that streaming software, it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't like you. That's what it is.
I know. For some reason, when I go to do my streams by myself because I'm getting sick of this asshole,
that's
it doesn't
terrible,
do it.
Dots. You need that. You're going to have a cup of tea now.
Hey, actually, he's not that far off though. When you really think about it.
What? Well, I don't know if aliens are into that kind of thing, I don't know if they're doing lines right now as we speak. In the Galactic Federation. If they're into that kind of thing, if they're into that kind of thing, karaoke machines.
Hey, I once did a movie where the main character got his powers from snorting meth.
Yes, you can actually find that on IMDb. It's called Confessions of a UFOologist, starring Dakota here.
No, it's called Arch Enemy. It stars Joe Manganiello.
I bet you.
No, I'm serious.
That and actually, for God's sake!
No, I'm serious. That's the name of the movie.
Okay, you're guaranteed to lose your monetization if you actually say what Dots has put in the chat.
So the fuck what? Would they already fight us?
We can't get monetized anyway.
I know they're already fighting us. Why do you think that I'm starting to build the new fucking streaming service? I just did. I wasn't supposed to say that yet.
There you go.
Whoopsie!
It's only £5 million to join us. No,
but anyway. So, Christopher.
Yes.
A lot of shit going on when it comes to this fucking UFO shit, especially with the mess down in Peru.
Look, the stuff that's in Peru, I'm going to say it. I learned for you, and I've been watching stuff. Last night I was watching stuff before I went to my bed. I'm going to blame the drug cartel here. You're closer to Peru than I am, so if you want to take MD away, he's the owner of the company.
No, no, that's actually who the prosecutors down there are trying to put on.
There's Emerald Paranormal in the chat there. Hello, Jenny. Hello.
Oh, Jenny, we're gonna have some confessions about your boyfriend here.
Jenny, it's just winding you up. He's a pain in the arse. It really is. Sometimes it ends that I'm doing an energy because I wasn't doing an investigation today, guys. I'm tired.
You're down on energy.
I'm going to set Jenny.
You're acting like you snorted something. There, Escobar.
I'm drinking St. Helena. It's made by nuns, by the way, what I've been told.
St. Helen's nuts?
St. Helena. You fucking idiot. St. Helena. It's made by nuns, I think.
You're sucking off nuns. Got it. Okay. Didn't realize you had that sort of fetish.
I am all ears, low. Look, Jenny, I've got this fucking idiot sitting tonight. I'm drained after doing an investigation. I've got my crystal here because I'm totally drained, and he's taking advantage of me, Jenny. He's taking advantage of me, Jenny. Jenny will come for you. She'll come for you. She'll come and get you.
Yeah. I'd be more concerned when she finds out about the other two women you're messing with.
See, Jenny, honestly, see him, by the way, he's a pain in the fucking ass. Okay.
I'll give you names, Jenny. Just let me know.
Look, can I watch it? There's she's saying this. She's I'm telling you, she's coming to get you now for winding everybody
She's wanting to watch it. She's wanting to watch you do something to yourself. She'll probably take that crystal and shove it up your mouth.
Jenny, honestly, I think when you come over to Ireland to do an investigation, you need to be locked in the vault of despair at Leap Castle.
That actually.
No, you, Jenny. I'll talk to him next door. This idiot. He's taking advantage of me, Jenny, because I've got the energy. I'm totally ran down.
What is any different about me tonight? Roasting you
because I'm tired. I'm worn out. I'm usually more spontaneous. I'm more energetic, you know. We need to have a wee talk, my little frog. See you,
little froggy. Little froggy.
It's my little. I call it my little frog. How? What's wrong with that?
What, you got a Kermit and Miss Piggy thing going?
Well, she likes getting called wee frog. It's a thing that when we first met. If anybody doesn't know, me and Jenny are dating each other. There you go.
Hey, you and who else?
Now everybody knows.
Okay.
Because just in case you think that it's just a thing, you know. We call each other, you know.
Hey, I'm just surprised anyone would date you.
Do you hear that, Jenny? Jenny, being my Irish friend, will you please, when he comes to Ireland, will you do terrible things to him for me, please? Can we look him in Leap Castle?
Oh, she can aim right for me, Lucky Charms.
That was no Irish. That was me.
I know.
What is it? That wasn't even Irish. That was me.
I know, that was horrible.
Vulcan in that. I don't know what the hell that was.
Vulcan.
I love long and prosper. I can't fucking date either. It's me like that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's that.
But anyway, let's get to the fucking subject tonight. I'm talking about fucking stupid pish, right?
All right.
What?
So.
What's that?
P.
Duffy 4. Oh, I feel sorry for P. Duffy 4. No one dates him. That's terrible. Is there anybody in the chat that's maybe lonely? That's maybe.
Jenny says she knows still a few leprechauns. Well, you do look about as short as one.
Feel free, Jenny. Feel free to comment the names in the chat as you want. You will not get blocked, honestly. You have.
I actually had a weird idea for an alternate name for if we didn't decide to go for Bald and Bonkers.
That's terrible, isn't it, Jenny?
The wank and the yank.
I could put my hand through and slap him in the side of the head there.
Yeah, get in line.
What's that cracking my nut? I'm telling you, by the way, she'll will come for you, by the way. She will get onto an airplane. You'll wake up tomorrow, they'll be banging at the door, you'll open it and the big horn will come and grab you. I'm telling you.
You're calling your girlfriend a what?
What?
What? You're called your girlfriend a big what?
I never called her anything. See, this
Oh,
is what you have to
you're
deal
calling
with,
her
ladies and gentlemen.
names.
You
You're
have to
calling her
deal with this.
names.
Look, some may not know this, but Dakota is still in his infancy. What age are you now? 23, 24?
27.
Does look like he's 74, but it's obviously, I don't know what's going on there, a genetic thing. But there's actually, your mum posted a picture of you in 2013 on your Facebook. Did you see it?
Which one are you
And
talking about?
You're fighting with like Iron Man or something like that. I can't mind what it was.
That was a fucking Smurf.
Was that what it was? I put at the bottom, I couldn't resist it, ladies and gentlemen. I put, you haven't changed much. And you look exactly the fucking same. But do you have like the fountain of youth at your back or something like that?
My back has been sweating like it's the fucking fountain of youth lately with this goddamn heat.
I know. So come on, this is a UFO. Stop talking about the UFOs.
Well, quit fucking distracting me, you fucking wanker. What is in the air today?
I just fucking don't know. I'm going to drink my nun's orange juice or something. The orange juice that the nuns squeezed with their feet.
Whatever you're into.
Well, that's a hobby, isn't it?
Jenny's warming up the nun costume from the Exorcist movie. No, I'm just
See, they're making a new Nexorcist. I was going to say Nexorcist. I was going to say they're making a new Exorcist.
Yeah, anyway. I saw that. Anyway. So, Peru. A lot of you probably heard by now that we're trying to segue into a serious conversation, but I feel that Chris is going to make a dumbass remark, get on your knees. I don't think he would get back up.
The way my back is, the noon how tired I was, I'll just stay there all night like that.
Well, he does look like a pale grimace.
Hey, cheeky bugger. That's terrible, isn't it? Terrible.
See what I mean? I tried to go into fucking conversation, but y'all just distracted me.
Honestly, like, I'm going to eat my love hearts here and it.
Oh yeah, we're about to get an ASMR show. All right, so obviously we've heard there's going to be a lot of discussion about this. There's still a lot of people that are trying to say, "Oh, it's blue beam. Oh, it's blue beam." Okay, first off, if it was legitimately a blue beam attack, it would not just be isolated to one country. You have to take into consideration what the most likely scenario is when it comes to the situation in Peru about the villagers being attacked and all that. People thinking that some sort of big monster is in the area and having some bigger power come in, one of the oldest conquest tricks in the book. And guess what? Peru officials are starting to go after drug cartels who are wanting to establish mining operations.
Not just drug cartels. It's not just drug cartels, though. It's also gold mining companies.
Yeah, run by the cartel.
Run by the cartels. I know, right?
They have their own arm.
Look, that's what they'll build this wee community with like 500 people. And they'll say, "Oh, the aliens are coming there," and everybody will run away out their houses and take all their belongings. Yeah. And then the cartel and the gold company will move in, and do the
I can't remember the exact name of it, but you know how this was a few episodes back. I went to talk about how the CIA gained power in the Philippines.
No, but
all right. Brief refresher. Basically, the CIA wanted to gain political influence in the Philippines. So they staged a series of murders based on a local monster known as the Aswang, or Aswang, or however it's pronounced. Basically, a type of vampire. They literally murdered innocent people, made it look like they were attacked by a vampire, moved in with military influence, waited a few weeks, said that the scary monster was captured, earned the trust of the local population, and were able to do what they want. In the month of June, U.S. naval forces were started rolling into Peru as part of a joint operations. Anytime these arrangements happen, there's usually deals that go on for tech, weapons, you name it. This is how Al-Qaeda was originally founded in order to help fight the Russians during the Cold War.
Yeah.
Apparently, I didn't know this until recently, There's actually, there's also that story about the man who had his face ripped off.
I seen that, but
His
I
skin,
found out more
his
about
muscle, the skin and muscle tissue, all ripped off clean from his skull. Apparently, there's actually a local monster that's been known to do that to people.
There's videos on TikTok of that, but here we go into the TikTok side of things. TikTok will do 99.9% of it's shite, right? Coming from a Scottish person, right? There's got to be some stuff that's kind of real on TikTok, but then there's got to be this. Somebody's already pointed it out, and there's already been a couple of morticians that have already pointed this out. What do you call the doctors that are specialists in dead bodies? What do you call them? What do you call them again? No, I know morticians. You came up talking about they've got another name. They work for the police. They've got a name.
Forensics.
Forensics. They've actually pointed out that it's all what do you call that material? It's fake. It's a fake body. It's a fake because if you look at the skull, you can see it's plastic or something that it's made of. That's too clean. That's too clean. Come on, there'd be some blood. There'd be something. Jesus Christ! It's what do you call it? It's just rubber. That's all it is. The body's rubber. There might be an ancient alien type being that maybe at one time lived in the woods. Maybe it still does, like Bigfoot or something like that. But that one that's on YouTube, YouTube is TikTok, is fake. It's 100% pish.
You also got to consider the 15-year-old who got her neck sliced when she managed to get away from these things. She actually got a photo of her attack,
right,
which is awfully impressive. And a lot of people, obviously, where like 95% of our audience comes from the Elena Denon and her
Corner.
circles.
Thank you, person in the chat.
Yes,
Corner.
It's hard to keep track of what he thinks he's thinking.
Well, especially after I've been in a kind of investigation, I'm running around like 4%, like an old phone.
Yeah, he's running on old flip phone instead of his usual slightly newer flip phone.
I don't use a flip phone. I use an iPhone. I'm an Apple man.
Perfect for old men.
Maybe so. They're easy to use, though. They're kind of foolproof, you know?
Yeah. Until you drop one.
Look, we're not saying that there's no such thing as aliens in that in Peru, because there is a lot of like UFO incidents in Peru. There's a lot of downed UFOs that's meant to have been crashed there. But what we are saying is that the local cartels, if you want to visit Andy Dakota here owns Bonkers, you might visit him first. Do that so as they can gain advantages in the local townspeople. You got to remember they're not just mining gold; they're mining. What is it? Is it sapphires? They're called. What is it? It's a rare type. The green sapphires, and they're mined in Peru. And what they do is they move the villagers out so as they can mine them. So as rich people in the Western countries can have it in their Rolexes and stuff like that.
Oh, exactly. There is a huge fucking profit when it comes to this type of stuff. And that's immediately what I try to tell people. You want to know what they're looking for, you need to start looking at geographical data. What do they believe is going to be in these regions? Now, it's South America. You could probably go deep into the jungles and find Nazi bunkers full of shit still that just haven't been located because it's just making the trip alone is risky.
Oh, there is in Peru, there is meant to be Nazi bunkers. There's meant to be stuff to do with the Nazis.
So because there's no extradition
treaty. They've never been found. Yeah, and to this day, some of these bunkers that were sealed up could still and there's treasure hunters out there that have actually said this. There could be bunkers out there in the Peruvian jungle filled to the neck with gold. Machine guns, tanks. I mean, tanks wouldn't last long nowadays. But what I'm saying is the gold would. Can you imagine the price of gold during the war? Now, a lot of that gold was stolen from the Jews. Yeah, I mean, most of it came for teeth. It's really interesting. The Nazis actually had barrels and barrels and barrels, and all it was people's teeth filled with gold. Terrible. And a lot of that was shipped across in the U-boats to Peru in case they lost the war.
Argentina,
And
quite a few South American nations were allied with Germany during the war. And
there's
also no extradition.
Silicon, that's what was the bodies were made of. Yeah, silicon, thank you.
Silicon is very close to how our skin actually works.
Yeah. Look, I was actually, before the live tonight, we were actually talking about, did Adolf Hitler die in the bunker? Because I was talking about, because I was watching a movie, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, and a lot of people think that he left and went to South America. I definitely think he made it to South America, because it's quite interesting, because they've got his remains. The Russians have got his remains, right? But there was a certain type of soil on his remains that didn't come from Berlin, from where it said it was. It comes from, wait for this, South America. So what's to say they just didn't dig them up after a couple of years, put them in a box and send them back and say, oh, this is where it came from.
Here's the thing. So that backs up this thing further. If Hitler truly died in that bunker,
yes,
why did the Allied forces spend millions upon millions upon millions of dollars trying to look for this motherfucker after the war?
Yeah.
If we already had his body, why were we still looking? And there's actual declassified documents from the CIA that show a tubby old man they fully believe was Adolf Hitler, who managed to live up as a llama farmer up until his 90s.
A lot of people don't realize that Adolf Hitler had 3 or 4 doubles.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say that the one in the bunker, maybe it's true, maybe Hitler did stay in the bunker at the very end and kill himself, but maybe it wasn't the real Hitler. Maybe he was told in the end, because there's the story of the Hitler basically having a meltdown in the bunker, again, the one where he's shouting at all the generals. Mm-hmm. Who's to say that he didn't know that he was going to get rescued, and that's why he had a meltdown? He knew he was fucked, basically, because he was completely surrounded.
You also got to consider the Nazis were hopped up on meth. Very popular wartime drug to reduce sleep time. Hitler indulged in it quite a bit himself.
Yes.
But he also was not a dumb man.
Methamphetamine. They used it in high doses.
Yeah. Japanese used it too.
Yeah, it would keep you alert. He was able to stay up. He'd be able to stay up and command his armies and stuff like that. And I do think, and I'm going to come out here with this, I do think Hitler knew a lot more about the UFO subject.
Oh, he was a fanatic.
Yes, look, we all remember Mike the Naked Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And remember we had him on and do the show about the Nazis. And we were talking about certain castles in Germany, and how they actually would, this is the SS we're talking about here, would do these weird rituals, right? And they would bring in train loads. And this is true, guys. They would bring in train loads Jews, and nobody would ever see them leave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody would see them leave. They would all go into this room, and nobody would ever come back out again. So why was what happened to the people? Were they in? Or were they taken away to a different reality? Do you see where I'm going with this? I think Hitler escaped, right? And I think he knew lots about the UFO subject, and that's why the government wanted him. Look what happened to that fleet of ships. What was that admiral? What was the admiral that went down to the South Pole? Remember? Armelbird, right. There was something to do with that, because they were going down there to, what do you call it? Get to get the original Nazis that had set up camp there. Come on, they were that fleet of ships that they turned down there was decimated.
Oh yeah.
Decimated. Right? I could understand if it was Germans. Maybe there was a stronghold of Germans and stuff like that. Maybe sink one ship, but no, nearly all of them and totally decimate them. There's something else is at play here. There's a lot of the history that's been covered up. World War II history has been covered up. South America and Peru, there's things in South America and Peru that's never been found. You can also
blame the Rockwells for that one.
The who?
The Rockwells.
That's right. Yeah.
That family bought the official records for the Second World War.
Yeah.
Now, private collector, history buffs, they got the money. Understandable, but nevertheless, bounces back to the Rockwells. Same thing with a lot of how, say, the school systems nowadays, highway systems being built around the idea to allow soldiers to be able to freely move in the event war breaks out.
Yeah. What was that's really annoying me. What was the name of that castle, that famous castle with the SS in Germany that Mike was telling us about? The one that was famous for the SS in Germany, and it was famous for the ones where the Jews were took. Oh, I can't mind what it's called, but it's a funny shaped castle, and the Nazis actually put in railways right to it. And instead of the Jews going to like the concentration camps, they were took to this castle, and they all shuffled in. They shut the door. Bob's your uncle. The next day they were gone, and there was actually reports for soldiers that normal German soldiers that never went into the castle because they were in the SS. That said that the Jews and people with learning difficulties and that would go in and never come back out, and they don't know what happened to them. And Mike's idea was that it was something otherworldly that was taking them and doing things to
sacrifice.
Them. Yeah, because if you go inside, it's like a feeding chamber kind of thing. Yeah. So what were they worshipping that was maybe giving them power? I mean, let's face it, the Nazis were doing bloody well during the war. No, it wasn't called it starts. It was another one. Just type in famous SS castles, and you'll find it. What was I talking about there? Well, we went mad again. A brain freeze for a second there. Look, what was I talking about there? Help us out there. What was I just talking about there?
We were going into the railways.
Railways, Nazis, right? Got it. The railways and the Nazis, right? They were going in and they were just disappearing, right? They didn't even take bodies out. So where were they going? Mike's theory thought it was maybe something like the lichens. The lichens, you know what I'm talking about? The lichens, the werewolves.
Yeah, there was
how the Nazis. Yeah. But here's the thing: the Nazis amazingly took every country nearly. They were doing bloody well, right? They were doing bloody well, right? I'll put that out there for that. But at the and then it all just changed like that. As if something stepped in. There's actually reports, and you can look this up, guys. There's reports out there where German aircraft were shot down by glowing balls. And there's actually a very rare recording of Adolf Hitler in his real voice talking to his generals in his train, saying, "How could we lose 34,000 tanks in 2 days? How could we lose 34,000 tanks in 2 days?" And the general goes, "We don't know who they are, but they're taking us out." So, did they piss somebody off?
It's quite obvious they pissed something off.
Yeah.
Because you don't start losing that much support that quickly unless you pissed off
tanks. Jesus.
They pissed off somebody important to their war efforts, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we may never know.
German fighter pilots, there's loads of accounts of German fighter pilots saying that they were chasing after these glowing balls and they couldn't shoot them down.
The Allies were having issues with those Foo Fighters too.
But strangely, the Foo Fighters, these glowing balls wouldn't harm the Allies. It's as if they recognised they were good. Whereas the Nazis that would cut their airplanes out, their engines would just cut out and they drop out the sky like a brick.
There was at one point where the Foo Fighters were attacking the Allies, but again, there's one point for some odd reason, something switched sides. Maybe they started to realize exactly what the Nazis were doing.
Yeah, I'm just going to search for that castle.
Fuck these motherfuckers. And let's face it, with everything that's kind of going on nowadays, it backs up the theory that the Nazis are... Which one?
Wellsburg Castle.
Yeah.
That's the one where they were tearing into guys. Wellsburg, it's... Here we go. This is just Wikipedia for you. This castle, located in the villas of Wellsburg, is the district town of Peru, Western. And the German castle was from 1934 by the SS until 1945. And there would be trains that would take the prey in there, was one would be.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually research it. There's a lot on it. There's a lot of history on it. There's a lot of strange things. Inside it, it's got a weird bit inside where they would all do their weird satanic or whatever it was you want to call it stuff that they did.
I don't know, man. Some of the shit, honestly, some of the shit they were up to, even Satan himself would be disgusted.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean,
the devil has morals, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, the devil's really got a job. The devil's got a job to punish the evil, right? Everybody thinks that the devil is out there to cause harm and man and stuff like that, but the devil's really just got a job to like look after, to stop evil kind of thing, right? And you imagine what they were doing to those poor Jews, and it wasn't just Jews, it was gypsies, it was Russian soldiers, it was people with learning difficulties, and it was also people that didn't agree with them.
Oh yeah,
right. So
sound awful familiar.
Yeah, reference.
So, what's going on nowadays?
Yeah,
with woke movement wanting to shut down and physically harm people that don't agree with the ideology. That fucking doesn't track in the first place.
The world is
call yourself anti-fascist, but a lot of these woke movements are following the examples of the Nazis. The Nazis may have lost that war, but they're still carrying it on.
I heard a tale. A soldier once told me. I met a soldier once that fought in World War I when he was a young boy, near the end of World War I, and then when he was about in his 40s, he went back into World War II, or it was World War II or something like that, because he was really young when he went to World War I, right? It was just after it. And he'd worked his way up to like colonel, right? And he was telling me the story about when he was fighting the Nazis and the things that he's seen in their camps would disgust you. Piles and piles and piles. Put it this way, there was bulldozers. There's like 4 or 5 bulldozers just bulldozing everything everywhere. And I'm not going into the graphic scenes. Right?
Yeah,
and he said to me that, how do you know that the Allies won the war? And I said, well, V-Day and all that kind of stuff. And he says, but how do you know that the Nazis didn't win the war? Because there was a theory out there that Hitler did get away. A lot of the gold that was took was used, and the technology that they had for whoever they were was used to infiltrate the world governments of today. See where I'm going with this?
Hydra.
Yeah, Hail Hydra. This is, how do we not know, and this is where people disappear, but can something I don't care. How do we not know the people that run this world today are not Nazis?
You know, there's you hear talks of the Nazis talking about Antarctica bases on the moon, Mars, Venus, space weapons, things like that. They were looking into direct energy weapons back then. A lot of the reports from soldiers suggested some very cruel shit. I mean, look what just happened with the fires down in Hawaii.
That's right, guys. Listen to what Dakota's got to say about this, because I find this fascinating.
For a wildfire, how come only buildings are burnt, but the trees are fine? Wildfires, they would need to have dug into something very potent to be able to vaporize concrete.
Yeah.
There's a number of reports coming out about in the region that the Red Cross, volunteer efforts, all that, the Red Cross is partially involved in turning away assistance from the people who are needing help affected by this.
Yeah. And also,
and a lot of people are questioning the fact that a lot of the land that is being affected is owned by Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Oprah.
Yeah.
All individuals who have believed to have some sort of connection to human trafficking. Oprah Winfrey, her spiritual healer that she went through, recently went to prison for 99 years for human trafficking. Now, a lot of these fires, a lot of suspicious fires have also been known to take place at facilities that are about to be raided. Pfizer allegedly had a fire break out right as certain information about the jabby jab was starting to come out.
What I found interesting, because you told me about it before we started the live, and I went and had a wee quick look in old TikTok, about the energy. Some people have actually caught the energy weapons coming down.
Oh, yeah.
There's pictures there, guys. Go and look it up. There's like a beam of light coming straight down, hitting a building.
They're trying to say that was lightning. Lightning does not move. Lightning can move that direct. It can. But not under natural circumstances. There's one problem with that. It has to be guided. It has to be guided in order to make it move that straight.
There's one problem with one of the pictures in particular. There's blue skies.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be clouds for it to be a thunderstorm or lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen lightning with no clouds, blue skies?
It's rare, but it can happen.
Can it happen? But come on, you can see it's a vertical beam. Lightning comes down like fork.
There's actually something else that's been circulating. It's be hard to test the legitimacy of it, but right, like ferrofluid, right? It's made of like a little iron. You hold a magnet to it, it starts dancing around.
Yeah.
There's a conspiracy going right now that a lot of chemtrails that were sprayed in the area before the fires break out may have actually contained small samples of this in order to help direct the energy weapons.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Allegedly.
I was actually talking to somebody about energy weapons. This is weird, because I know somebody that works in the US military, right? I'm not going to say his name, right? And he's a really, really good friend of mine, and we were actually having a conversation about weapon systems for the military, because this is what he does. He does like artillery and stuff like that. It's fine. They wind it up. Right. And we were actually talking about, did you know that the US military have got a new weapon called graphite bombs?
Mm-hmm. I've heard about that.
This is interesting, guys. You'll find this interesting. What happens is the airplane will fly over, like say we'll take a target, we'll say London, right? Say London, no, we'll take North Korea, right? We'll just make it fucking easier. North Korea, Kim Jong-un's city, I can't mind what it's called, right? The plane will fly over the top of it, right? And it'll drop this bomb, it'll drop these bombs. And before the bombs hit the ground, they explode, right? Now, basically, they won't even hurt you if they go near you, right? Don't worry about it, right? And what happens is they put this fine black powder in the air, and that black powder clings to anything metal or anything that can basically put a current through it, right? So you've got communication wires, you've got power lines, it clings to it. See, when it clings to it, neutralizes the power everywhere. It'll not really neutralize vehicles. It'll cause problems for vehicles, but if the vehicle's shielded, it'll be fine. But it sticks to power cables, it sticks to satellite dishes, it sticks to everything. And it's got I think it's got a half-life of like a day or something like that. It lasts for about a day and then it starts to like drop off. It's like magnetic. And basically that's what they'll do. See if they go to war, see if we go to war with China, right? They'll fire shells. They'll drop these all over China, right? And it'll stick to their communications. And they'll probably do the same to us, right? And it'll knock out the communications completely.
And it's quite interesting wipe out a civilization. If you're about to wipe somebody out, what's going to be the first thing you do?
You take the communications out so as they can't warn their allies.
Make it so they can't call for help.
Yeah. China will be like, oh no, but we need to contact Russia and we need their help. But sir, the communications are down.
A lot of the reports right now, even the Chinese are getting kind of sick of the Russians.
No, that's very true. What's that? And this Emerald Isles paranormal lightning without clouds is dry lightning. Ken, I've never heard about that before. I've never heard about it. I've seen lightning with snowstorms and stuff, which is quite an experience.
It's like it can happen, but conditions have to be right.
I've never seen that before. But there you go. And it just shows you how you've got to remember that's old-fashioned compared to what the technology the extraterrestrials have got. I mean, they've got ships where our fighter jets wouldn't survive whatsoever.
What are you talking
Unless
about?
We've obviously
it's like there's reports coming out of these whistleblowers that honestly, if you're reading it, it sounds like these craft are literally fucking with these fighter jets just for the hell of it.
Well, you've got to remember that this is an interesting tale that a lot of people are talking about in the UFO community, which I've been listening to. The mainstream governments, the black governments, and all that run everything. They're not really worried about the people becoming aware of this. What they're worried about is all that technology that we've got stashed away in these black sites, right? We're getting a hold of. You've got to remember, guys, we've got ships that could travel to Mars in a couple of minutes. We've got technology for clean power. And just let me put this in. Imagine one power station in, say, Britain, powering every single house, and there's zero pollution comes from it. And it's infinite power. Infinite. That means overnight, a couple of days, and you'd probably pay off the power station to build it. And after that, you wouldn't have bills. You wouldn't have bills. Do you know that there's actually the technology out there where there's things the size of like a can, right? Like that. And you could put it inside an electric car, and it would power that electric car for about 10 years without changing that thing. You would never need to charge your car up. You would never need to fill up the gas.
No, I mean, it's just talking about when it comes to these infinite energy generators. Let's go with that. You take one that's about the size of the average sedan, the average car. You could power New York City by itself infinitely, almost.
Yeah.
That's how much juice these things got.
I'm trying to find that new element that's been discovered. Did you see that thing about the new element that's been discovered? It's a new type of material, and it's getting tested, and they say that it'll revolutionize technology. Oh, what's it called again? It just popped into my head.
Tennessee.
It's a new... It's what? It's a...
Tennessee?
It's something that they can... It's got to make everything better. It's got to make like phones can run for like a week when I charge and ridiculous things like that. and electric cars will be easily made and mass-produced things. I can't remember what it's called. Is it 115? I can't remember what it's called. It's something KP or something
117.
like that. Is it 117?
The most recent element discovered is called, I think it's pronounced Tennessine. It's found in Russia, and it's atomic number 117.
Yeah. I think that's that. It's a new type of material that's been discovered, and it basic element 115. I think that's what it is.
Oh, and that wasn't discovered. Bob Lazar was talking about that.
No, I'm talking about the new one that it's a non-thermobaric or something material, and it's got to change. It's got to revolutionize batteries, charging, everything.
Yeah, element 115, Bob Lazar.
And it's going to revolution. It's got to make. But
wasn't recently discovered. That was recently made public. Lazar was talking about that for years. And Mr. Lazar, if you're seeing this show, answer the email so we can get you on. Sorry, I just had to say that.
I've been getting adverts for all week. I can't remember what it's called. It was a new element.
You're getting adverts for what?
It was a new type of mineral. And I can't remember what it's called. It's a thymbarak or something element. It'll come to me. What is it? Just wait a minute.
I can literally name off 1,000 things, and he won't think any one of them is it.
I had it the night in my head. I was going to do it, but it was in my head the night. And I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's for supercomputers. It's got to totally revolutionize everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they say electric cars will become. It's going to basically you can build like a battery. It'll last a long time. A battery will last a lot longer. For instance, you get you charge a battery up and it goes 160 miles or something like that. Well, with this element, you charge a battery up and you'll get like 10,000 miles. It was something stupid like that. It's going to revolutionize technology. You know, it's all this hidden technology, guys. That's hidden face is terrible, and if that's what the elite are worried about. Know the fact that they're losing the grip in their power. The fact is, all this technology is got to be coming out like these. What do you call them? Healing chambers.
Yeah, the med beds. They're already rolling out.
I can't. Why hasn't nobody ever tried one then? If they've not been rolling out,
they have.
So you're telling me you can get totally healed if you climb into one of these? So how do you get into one?
There's certain areas that already have them. They're supposed to be made available to all major hospitals soon. They're slowly being rolled out.
So
you can climb in it just like you would a tanning bed.
Right. Book us in, guys. We'll test it out in Dakota first.
Yes, I would like to know if these med beds have a big and tall section. Legitimately.
We'll see yours one.
Legitimate.
You'll be able to put you in and your knees will stick out. They'll only be able to repair your upper half, and then the lower half will be all there. You have to put you in again.
No, I'm going to need double the cooking time.
What about teeth? Did they repair teeth? I take it that's out the question.
Teeth can be fully repaired.
Aye, if you've got loads of money. How?
No, there was a certain type of bacteria that was discovered. This was back when I was like 9 years old. That you just simply apply it to your teeth. You would never have to brush your teeth ever again. That's disappeared.
That'll be the toothpaste companies for that. But going back
to
Peru,
major revolution has been suppressed.
See in Peru and all that in the jungles and stuff. I bet you there's stashes of stuff. I ken that some of the files and that will be like maybe too wet and all that and destroyed now, but I bet there's things hidden away there. Stashed away. Technology.
That also proves a valid point that I was trying to make earlier. Again, if this was a legitimate blue beam operation, it would not just be these isolated incidents. Now, I will say it could very well be a psychological thing. You launch a little remote attacks here and there. Word's going to spread. People are eventually going to dismiss it. Then the second they think they see something similar, that's going to add on to the panic. But here's the thing. Why are these locations being picked? What's there? What is there that they're wanting to take attention away from? Is it simple like the gold mining operations? Or are some of these villagers unknowingly sitting on top of some of the most revolutionizing technology there is?
Yeah. Minerals, rare earth elements. Rare earth elements. Did you remember maybe about a year ago, maybe Dots can help me with this, about maybe 2 years ago, there was, I can't remember where it was in Africa, they actually found this rock that gave off its own power. The guy comes over with the 2 wires and he touches it and the light bulb lights up.
Yeah,
that's just totally disappeared. It's gone. It's just like totally disappeared.
See, we had the fucking chance to get Wakanda and they fucking killed it. Bastards.
Look, there'll be so many things hidden. And it's like somebody says to me the other day there, what do you think, Chris? What do you think the holy, the what do you call it, the Ark of the Covenant was? What's your opinion on that? I think it was alien tech.
Easily.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but easily. And, you know,
because
there's a lot of people that, you know, they still try to say, oh, why was this technology hidden? Why was this technology hidden? Why would the governments want to do that?
Magic in the days.
Well, no, I'm talking about up till the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
Look what just happened to David Grush.
Yeah.
Someone in the intelligence community leaked this man's personal medical records and tried to exploit the fact he had at least 2 incidents where police had to be involved due to post-traumatic stress.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking asshole reporter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, admittingly, Grush has stepped up and said, yes, these things did happen. But that's not what needs to be focused on.
If you go back to the Ark of the Covenant, right? Anybody that in the Bible or whatever, anybody that opened the Ark of the Covenant would unleash death, right, and destruction, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was some type of power source, and that's the honest truth. I think it was some type of ancient power source that was radioactive, and I think when they opened it, people would die because obviously there was radiation of some kind.
The symptoms that would be described in some accounts of people that allegedly opened the Ark of the Covenant do line up with extreme amounts of radiation poisoning.
Mm-hmm. I seen an article last night. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. I can't remember where it was from off the top of my head. There's somewhere in the world, there's this mining operation that's going on now. And they were really, really deep. I mean, fucking deep, right? Because it was, I can't remember what they were mining for. And they've came across a seam, and all it is metal balls.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like metal spheres, and they're perfect metal spheres, and they're hollow. So that's interesting. I'll find out about that. Maybe we should talk about that next Saturday or Sunday. I'll see if I can find more mention in it.
That definitely would be an interesting conversation to have.
Yeah, I think we should talk into that, things that, because we're coming at the end of the show. I mean, we should maybe dive into the kind of theory, the ancient things that have been buried, that have been found, because there has been things found like cell phones and stuff like that shouldn't exist. In coal mines, in deep coal mines, there's been like things that look like mobile phones found embedded in the coal. But that shouldn't be right because it's like something like 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 million years old.
You got to remember,
so how did they get there?
There's a reason why they're called oops artifacts.
See, I've got an idea about this. What was if, hypothetically, we built a time machine, right? And thought, I want to go back and see the dinosaurs, right? You went back and seen the dinosaurs, right? And out of sheer madness, out of sheer bad luck, a Tyrannosaurus Rex ate you, right? And say you had a phone on you and you had other kind of stuff on you, right? Then say something killed that Tyrannosaurus Rex, and over the years it get buried and that. And then say 900 million years later, when they dug out the coal, they found like a phone because that was you were eating the time machine travel. Is that what you think that is? Is that what you think? Because how else would that be? And but how else? The Baghdad battery dots, the Baghdad battery. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Get what I mean?
Who knows?
There's so many interesting things in this.
Now there's a few different things that can happen. You gotta realize they say only 1% of human history has ever been documented.
Yeah.
And that's that's essentially a rough guess because we're not exactly sure how long human history exactly sits. There was just recent fossil discoveries that push back the origin of the human race of a couple thousand years.
See, it's like the pyramids, right? The pyramids are unique, right? And Elena Dennen talks about that, the pyramids and stuff like that. And actually, somebody told me something the other day there, and I thought about this, and I've never ever thought about this before. And when they say the pyramids were built, right? Just listen to me this. When they say pyramids, you'll think about this day. When they built pyramids, right? When they said they built the pyramids, right? At that time, they used burning torches that burnt oil, right, to make light. Now, in most cave systems, and the what do you call it, the Inca pyramids, right? You'll see scorch marks where they've been walking through with the burning torches, right? So why is there none in the Great Pyramid and stuff like that? Why is there no scorch marks? How did they see if they were in there in the darkness?
Oh, I knew this. I've seen something like this in
there's no suit whatsoever.
Classes at Harvard
because they've actually
they had a way to actually reflect the inside surfaces to where the natural sunlight could light it most of the day. I can't remember the exact process, but several of these ancient sites had it.
But what I'm saying is that there should still be soot marks, which is interesting if they did use burning torches, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the story goes that what the Great Pyramid and all that used to be completely covered in gold.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Again, they were kind of... If you believe that they were built as big, ginormous tombs, which I don't, why would you go to so much hassle to build for a king or something like that? I don't believe that. I think there was something so much more. They align with the stars. They all align with the stars, which is interesting. Do you know building something like that today would be nigh on impossible? You could do it, but it would be ridiculously hard. I mean, can you imagine what technology they had when they built them? And I think they're a lot older than what they say they are.
You have to realize at the time of Egypt, time of Cleopatra, they had Egyptian archaeologists back at the time of Cleopatra because Egypt's history is so extensive. If I remember correctly, that's your brother.
Yeah, I was going to argue him.
I remember
there's proof out there that the were covered in gold.
The reason why it points, the mythology behind why it points to Orion is that it was believed to have been... Orion is essentially the direction of heaven, basically.
Yeah.
That's why it was pointed that way.
See, before we end the show, there's a lot of people that be sitting there, oh, that's a load of bullshit and all that they're talking about and stuff like that. But listen to this. There's pyramids in Egypt, right? There's pyramids in Peru and the Amazon and stuff like that, right? But did you know that there's pyramids in Europe?
Yeah.
Did you know that? And is it Yugoslavia or is it the Czech Republic? I can't remember. It's one of the two. There's actually pyramids. There's actually a Great Pyramid the same size as the Great Pyramid, but it's been covered. It looks like a hole, but they've actually dug most of it out, and it's actually a pyramid the same size.
There's been pyramids found in North America.
Yeah. Interesting, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's that? Did you know that all the gold mined ever would have fit in 3 Olympic swimming pools?
Bosnia.
No.
That's
Bosnia.
Right.
Thank you, Dots.
See?
Thank you.
You hardly understand
Dots
the man, but he knows his shit.
Dots, you should join us next. Are we taking that weekend off, or what we doing next week?
I don't know.
We'll think about it and we'll contact you, Dots, if you want to pop on with us, because I know that you're an interesting guy and you'd probably like that.
Yeah, bring your guitar there, Springsteen.
Ding, 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 ding. I was an alien.
Yep. And yeah, like John Moore said, even in Antarctica, but you also had to consider there was a point in history where Antarctica was a jungle climate.
Yeah. It's quite interesting what John Morris says. There was pyramids all over the world. Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Even underwater.
Underwater, under the ice. And yeah, under the ice in Antarctica. Wasn't that the plot lines of the Predator movies?
Mm-hmm. No, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's aliens down there now, and the Predators are invisible, and they're waiting for some.
Maybe they've been down. Maybe they have been down there so long they're frozen, and with the global warming melting off the ice caps, they shall be released.
Yes, aliens.
Dun dun dun.
Aliens are coming for you. You're going to be walking out the stair and a big thing will stick its face on you. And then you'll feel all right. You'll be sitting at your dinner and a big alien will pop out your chest.
I thought my sister was supposed to be the pregnant one. No.
Well, you don't know. It might happen for you, you know. Big alien, you know. I always felt sorry for the aliens and aliens, you know. I always felt sorry. I don't know. There was just something about them. I wonder if they exist in the alien universe or the alien universe. Do they? They don't exist, do they? Oh, I was got to think.
You have to remember, H.R. Geiger, the one who wrote the alien movies, he had a very morbid fascination about the human penis. And that's why they're shaped that way, the xenomorphs. Did you know that?
So then, thank you, Dakota. I would just like to say thank you for the next time I'm playing the game or watching the new movie. I'm going to think about that now.
Yeah. Those killer acid-spitting aliens are essentially big walking dildos. Leave it to Dakota to know this shit.
You see this strange and creepy world that Dakota lives in, you know. The fetishes that he's got.
Hey, I always try to tell people, it gets freaky if you hang around me too long.
I bet you it does. And on that note, everybody
have you not?
Chat,
It's like, if you haven't noticed by yet, you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. Everybody in the chat, thank you for coming tonight. We will all see you next week if we're doing a live. If not, the cartel has took Dakota away, or the aliens have him. The strange ones that he was just talking about. He probably like that, mind you. Take me, I'm ready.
Have you just disappear? Much love. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, we cannot endorse your therapy.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love, and take care.